I'm Elena Carter, single mom, interior designer, and the woman who accidentally crashed the wedding of the man who left me 6 years ago without ever knowing he was the father of my child. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that was only the beginning. In less than 3 minutes, my entire life turned upside down. A child, a runaway dog, and a pair of familiar eyes from the past suddenly pulled me back into the orbit of the one man who once broke my heart. Before I share the rest of this wild but true story, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. And hit like and follow if you've ever had to hold it all together for your family. Trust me, you're going to want to hear what happened next. The morning sun danced across Hollow Lake like scattered diamonds, and I should have known something would go wrong. Perfect days always ended in disaster. At least, that's what 5 years of single motherhood had taught me. "Mommy, Benny wants to swim." Leo tugged at my hand, his dark eyes sparkling with the kind of joy only 5-year-olds possess. "Not today, baby. Just a walk." I tightened my grip on our golden retriever's leash. Benny had other ideas, straining toward the water with determined pulls. Across the lake, white tents bloomed like giant flowers against the green lawn of the Hollow Lake Country Club. A wedding. The kind with string quartets and champagne fountains, worlds away from my thrift store sundress and scuffed sneakers. "Pretty," Leo pointed at the celebration. "Very pretty," I agreed, steering us toward the quieter path. But Benny had spotted something. A duck, maybe, or just the promise of adventure. The leash slipped from my hand like water. "Benny, no!" The dog bolted straight toward the wedding, Leo chasing after him with delighted shrieks. My heart hammered as I ran, flip-flops slapping against the path. Please, not today. Not when I'd finally found some peace. I burst through the hedge just as Benny skidded across the pristine white runner, mud flying. Leo tumbled after him, laughing as only a child could at such chaos. Wedding guests gasped, stepping back from the muddy intruders. Then I saw the groom. Time didn't stop. That only happened in movies. But it stuttered, like a broken film reel. Grayson Hale stood frozen at the altar, his gray suit immaculate, his face carved from marble. 6 years hadn't changed him much. Same sharp jawline, same broad shoulders, same eyes that used to look at me like I hung the moon. He bent to catch Benny's collar, and that's when it happened. His gaze landed on Leo, really looked at him. I watched the color drain from his face, watched his hands tremble as he held my son's small shoulder steady. "I'm sorry about my dog, mister," Leo chirped, oblivious to the electricity crackling through the air. Grayson's mouth opened, closed, opened again. His eyes, those storm gray eyes I'd loved and lost, never left Leo's face. Because Leo had those same eyes, that same stubborn chin, even the way his left eyebrow quirked when confused. "Elena?" My name on his lips felt like a slap and a caress all at once. The entire wedding party turned to stare. The bride in her $10,000 dress, the guests with their champagne flutes frozen mid-sip, the photographer still clicking away because drama sells. "We're leaving." I grabbed Leo's hand, whistling for Benny. "I'm so sorry for the disruption." "Elena, wait." But I was already moving, dragging my son away from his father, away from questions I couldn't answer here. Not in front of his bride, not with cameras flashing, not when Leo was looking between us with growing confusion. "Mommy, why did that man know your name?" I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Behind us, I heard the rustle of expensive fabric, heated whispers, someone calling Grayson's name with increasing desperation. His bride, probably. The woman who got the version of him I'd always wanted. Successful, committed, ready. "Let's go home, baby." "But Mommy..." "Please, Leo, just please." We made it to the parking lot before I heard footsteps pounding behind us. I didn't turn around. Couldn't. If I looked at him again, if I saw that recognition dawning in his eyes, I might shatter into pieces too small to ever put back together. The wedding I'd accidentally destroyed belonged to the only man I'd ever loved. The man who'd left me pregnant and alone. The man who'd never known he had a son, until now. That night, Leo slept peacefully while I sat at our kitchen table. staring at a photo I'd hidden in my jewelry box for 5 years. Grayson and me at Pike Place Market, laughing over coffee, back when we thought love could conquer anything. I'd been 22, fresh out of design school, interning at a firm in Seattle. He was 26, a software engineer with dreams bigger than his studio apartment. We met at a coffee shop. Cliché, I know. He'd spilled his latte on my portfolio, mortified, offering to pay for cleaning. I'd laughed and said coffee would suffice. One coffee became dinner. Dinner became breakfast. Soon I was spending more nights in his cramped apartment than my own, designing on his kitchen counter while he coded through the night. We were broke, exhausted, deliriously happy. When I make it big, he'd whisper against my hair at 3 a.m., I'll buy you a house with a studio. Floor-to-ceiling windows, all the light you could want. I don't need a big house, I'd whisper back. Just you. For 3 years, it was just us against the world. I held his hand through failed pitches, celebrated when he finally landed seed funding. I was there when his app took off, when TechCrunch called him the next big thing, when investors started circling like sharks. But success changed him. Slowly, at first. Missed dinners, forgotten anniversaries, texts instead of calls. Then faster. Weekend trips I wasn't invited to, parties where I felt invisible, conversations that ended with, you wouldn't understand. The night everything ended, I'd waited up with dinner cooling on the stove. He came home at 2 a.m., alcohol on his breath, lipstick on his collar that wasn't my shade. It's not what you think, he'd said. Then what is it? I can't do this anymore, Elena. He'd gestured between us like we were a problem to solve. It's holding me back. The investors, the networking. I need someone who fits that world. And I don't? His silence was answer enough. I'd packed while he slept on the couch, taking only what I'd brought. The pregnancy test in my purse stayed hidden, a secret that turned positive 2 days later in a gas station bathroom somewhere on I-5. I'd tried to tell him. Called 6 times, texted twice, even wrote an actual letter like some Victorian heroine. Nothing. His assistant, he had an assistant now, said Mr. Hale was unavailable indefinitely. 7 months later, Leo arrived 6 weeks early, fighting for every breath. I nearly lost him twice in the NICU, bargaining with a God I'd never believed in, promising anything if my baby lived. When they finally placed him in my arms, healthy and perfect, I made another promise. He'd never know rejection like I had. My aunt offered me her spare room in Hollow Lake, Oregon, population 8,000. The kind of place where everyone knew everyone, and the biggest scandal was Mrs. Patterson's rose garden beating Mrs. Kim's at the county fair. Perfect for disappearing. I rebuilt myself piece by piece, opened a small design business, learned to bake Leo's birthday cakes, to braid friendship bracelets, to answer "Where's Daddy?" with, "Some families look different, and that's okay." 5 years. 5 years of believing I was protecting my son from a father who'd chosen his company over us. 5 years of single motherhood, of lonely nights and hard decisions and love so fierce it scared me. Now he knew. After all my careful planning, a runaway dog had unraveled everything. My phone buzzed. Unknown number, Seattle area code. Elena, we need to talk, please. I deleted it, then recovered it, then stared at it until the screen went dark. Leo's feet pattered down the hallway. Mommy, I had a dream about the man at the wedding. He was nice but sad. I pulled him into my lap, breathing in his little boy smell of sunshine and crayon wax. Sometimes people are both, baby. Like you? God, when had my 5-year-old gotten so perceptive? Yeah, baby, like me. 3 days passed in suffocating normalcy. I dropped Leo at kindergarten, worked on Mrs. Henderson's kitchen redesign, pretended my world hadn't tilted off its axis. Then Thursday arrived with a knock that shook our entire house. Grayson stood on my porch, designer jeans and a simple t-shirt replacing his wedding suit. Behind him, a black Tesla looked absurdly out of place next to my beat-up Honda. How did you— It's a small town, Elena. His voice was rougher than I remembered, like he'd been doing his own share of sleepless nights. Can we talk? Leo's at school. I know, that's why I came now. I wanted to slam the door. Instead, I stepped aside. He entered cautiously, taking in the mismatched furniture I'd refinished, the wall of Leo's artwork, the life I'd built without him. Is he mine? No preamble, no small talk, just straight to the heart of it. What do you think? I couldn't keep the bitterness out of my voice. Elena, please, I need to hear you say it. Yes. The word felt like glass in my throat. Leo is your son. He sank onto my second-hand couch like I'd punched him. 5 years. He's been alive 5 years and I didn't know. I tried to tell you. Called, texted, wrote a letter. What letter? His head snapped up. Elena, what letter? The one I sent to your office after you made it clear we were done. Registered mail. Someone signed for it. His face went pale. My mother was handling my correspondence then. She was protective. Protective. I laughed, but it came out broken. Is that what we're calling it? Why didn't you try again? Why didn't I what? Chase after a man who said I was holding him back? Beg you to be a father when you couldn't even be a boyfriend? I was shaking now. I had a baby to protect. Your baby. Alone. I would have what? Married me out of obligation, resented us both? No, thank you. He was on his feet now, pacing. I had a right to know. You had a right to answer your phone. We stared at each other across 5 years of hurt. Then his shoulders slumped. You're right. God, Elena, you're right. He ran his hands through his hair, a gesture so familiar it hurt. Can I meet him, properly? And tell him what? Hi, I'm your dad. Sorry I missed the first 5 years. I don't know. I haven't exactly had time to process this. He paused. Isabel called off the engagement. I'm sorry. And I was, in a way. Nobody deserved their wedding ruined, even by poetic justice. I'm not. He met my eyes. Elena, I never stopped. Don't. I held up my hand. Just don't. This isn't about us. It's about Leo. Then let me know him, please. I'll follow your lead, your rules. I can't walk away again. Again. The word hung between us, acknowledging what we'd both lost. He gets hurt, even once, and you're gone. No court battles, no drama. You just disappear. I won't hurt him. You hurt me. I know. His voice broke. I know I did. The school bus would arrive in 2 hours. 2 hours to decide if I'd let the man who shattered me into my son's life. He likes dinosaurs, I heard myself say. And rockets. Can't swim yet, but loves the water. Allergic to strawberries. Sleeps with a stuffed elephant named Mr. Peanuts. Grayson's eyes filled with tears he didn't let fall. Mr. Peanuts? He named it himself at 2. Very proud of it. That's perfect. Maybe it was. Or maybe I was making the biggest mistake of my life. But looking at him, really looking, I saw past the successful CEO to the man I'd loved. Older, harder, but still holding his shoulders like the weight of the world sat there. You can come for dinner. 6 o'clock. We'll see how it goes. Thank you. He headed for the door, paused. Elena, the house with the studio and all the windows? I built it. Been empty for 3 years. Then he was gone, leaving me with another piece of the puzzle I wasn't sure I wanted to solve. Dinner was a disaster. Not in the explosive way I'd feared, but in small, heartbreaking moments. Leo, usually chattering nonstop, went silent the moment Grayson walked in. They sat across from each other at our small table, mirror images separated by 5 years and my choices. Leo, this is Mommy's friend, Grayson, the man from the wedding. Not a question. Those gray eyes, so like his father's, studied Grayson with unnerving intensity. Yeah, buddy, I'm sorry about crashing your party. It wasn't my party. Leo pushed his peas around. Are you married to the pretty lady? No. Why not? Grayson glanced at me. Because sometimes you realize you're marrying someone for the wrong reasons. What's the right reason? Love? I interjected quickly. Eat your chicken, baby. But Leo wasn't done. Do you have kids? I watched Grayson's knuckles go white around his fork. Yes, a son. Cool, can I meet him? I don't have many friends yet. Oh, my sweet, lonely boy. We'd moved so much in his 5 years, always searching for cheaper rent, better schools, a fresh start. He didn't know his question was breaking both his parents' hearts. Maybe someday, Grayson managed. After dinner, Leo showed him his rock collection, explaining each one with scientific seriousness. Grayson listened like Leo was presenting at a board meeting, asking questions that made my son light up. This one's from the lake. Mommy says it's quartz. Quartz? I corrected gently. It's beautiful, Grayson said. You know, quartz can conduct electricity. Some watches use it to keep time. Really? Leo's eyes went wide. Does your watch have quartz? Grayson held out his wrist, a simple leather band with a classic face. This one doesn't. But you know what? He unbuckled it, held it out. Why don't you keep it? You can be my official timekeeper. Grayson, I started. Please, Mommy? Leo clutched the watch like treasure. I'll be super careful. Looking at his hopeful face, I couldn't say no. Okay, but it stays on your dresser, not for wearing. Later, after Leo was asleep with the watch on his nightstand, Grayson and I sat on the front porch. Hollow Lake spread before us, painted silver by moonlight. That was a $40,000 watch, I said. It's just a thing. You can't buy his love. I'm not trying to. He turned to me. I'm trying to give him something of mine. Something he can hold when I'm not here. When you're not here, you planning on disappearing again? No. The word came fast, firm. Never. But I know I can't just... Elena, I live in Seattle. I have a company, responsibilities. Then why are you here? Because my son is here. He paused. Because you're here. This isn't about us. Isn't it? He leaned forward. Elena, I've spent 3 years in that empty house, wondering why nothing felt right. Now I know. I built it for the wrong person. Stop. I built it for who I thought I should want, not who I actually... Stop. I stood. You don't get to do this. You don't get to waltz back in with pretty words and expensive gifts and fix everything. Life doesn't work that way. Then how does it work? Tell me, because I'm trying here. It works slowly, carefully, one dinner at a time. You want to know Leo? Fine, but you earn it. Every visit, every moment, and if you hurt him, I won't. You hurt everyone, Grayson. It's what you do when things get complicated. He stood too, faced me. I was 29 and stupid. I thought success meant leaving everything simple behind. I was wrong. And now? Now I'm 35 and still stupid, but about different things. He headed for his car. Can I come back Saturday? Take him to the park? I thought about Leo's face when he'd held that watch. About 5 years of where's daddy. About my own treacherous heart, still skipping beats when he looked at me. 2 hours. I'll be there the whole time. Thank you. As his taillights disappeared, I wondered if I'd just opened a door I'd never be able to close. Saturday arrived gray and drizzling, perfect Pacific Northwest weather. I'd barely slept, second-guessing my decision while Leo cuddled between me and his mountain of stuffed animals. Now he pressed his nose against the window, wearing his best dinosaur shirt. Is Mr. Grayson coming for sure? Yes, baby. Though part of me wondered. Old wounds whispered he'd disappoint us again. But at exactly 10 o'clock, the Tesla pulled up. Grayson emerged with a gift bag and an uncertain smile, and my traitorous heart fluttered. You came! Leo bounced on his toes. Of course I did, buddy. I brought something for our adventure. He pulled out a child-sized raincoat, bright yellow with rocket ships. Mommy, look, rockets! I helped him into it, trying not to notice how Grayson watched us with hungry eyes, like he was memorizing every moment he'd missed. The park was nearly empty, just us and the dedicated dog walkers. Leo ran ahead to the playground while we followed at adult pace. You're good with him, I admitted. I bought 3 parenting books this week. Stayed up watching YouTube videos on how to talk to 5-year-olds. He laughed self-consciously, probably overthinking it. That's actually sweet. I want to get it right. I already missed so much. He paused. Elena, what was it like when he was born? I shouldn't tell him. It wasn't his pain to claim, but something in his voice. Terrifying. He came early, couldn't breathe right. I spent 2 weeks in the NICU praying to whoever would listen. My throat tightened. The nurse said he was a fighter. Said he got that from his parents, plural. She didn't know I was alone. You weren't supposed to be alone. But I was. Leo called us over to see his climbing prowess. For an hour, we orbited around him, pushing swings, catching him at the slide's bottom, building soggy sandcastles. Like any other family at the park. The pretense hurt worse than loneliness. Mommy, I'm cold. Time to go home for lunch, baby. Can Mr. Grayson come? I started to refuse, but Grayson spoke first. I should get back to Seattle, but Leo, would you like to do this again next weekend? Yes, can we go to the boats? If your mom says yes. 2 pairs of gray eyes turned to me, hopeful and patient. We'll see. Back home, Leo crashed for his nap immediately. Grayson lingered by his car. Thank you for today. Don't thank me. This is for him. Still, he pulled out his phone. Can I have your number in case something happens and you need me? I rattled it off, watched him save it carefully. Elena, there's something else. The media found out about Leo. He showed me his phone. A gossip site headline, Tech Billionaire's Secret Love Child Exposed. My stomach dropped. No, this can't. I've hired a PR firm. They'll keep the worst away, but I can't stop it entirely. This is why I left Seattle. This circus, I was spiraling, seeing Leo's face on tabloids, reporters at his school. Hey. His hands found my shoulders, steadying. I won't let them near him. Either of you, I promise. Your promises don't mean much. Then let me show you. His hands dropped. I'm putting out a statement, taking responsibility, asking for privacy. Any outlet that publishes his photo gets sued into oblivion. And Isabel is already spinning it as dodging a bullet. She'll be fine. He hesitated. Her lawyers contacted me about custody arrangements. Ice flooded my veins. What? Relax. I told them to go to hell. Leo stays with you. I'm just asking for time. Visits. Maybe overnight eventually if he's comfortable. And if I say no, then I'll respect that. But I'll keep asking. He met my eyes. I'm not going anywhere, Elena. Not this time. After he left, I found Leo awake, clutching Grayson's watch. Mommy, is Mr. Grayson my daddy? The question I'd dreaded for 5 years. What makes you ask that? Benny likes him. And he has eyes like mine. And he looks at me like Mrs. Patterson looks at her grandkids. My brilliant, perceptive boy. Yeah, baby, he's your daddy. Why didn't he live with us before? Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, but he's here now. Good. He snuggled closer. I always wanted a daddy. And just like that, my carefully constructed walls began to crumble. The call came Tuesday morning while I was sketching bathroom tiles for a client. Unknown number, but local. Ms. Carter? This is Rachel Morrison from the Hollow Lake Gazette. I'm writing a human interest piece about your connection to Grayson Hale. I hung up. 2 minutes later, another call. Then another. By noon, I'd turned off my phone entirely. The sanctuary of our small town had been breached. Wednesday brought worse. A woman at Leo's school, sleek and sharp in a way that screamed Seattle money. She introduced herself as Sophia Chen, Isabel's attorney. I'm here to discuss your son's welfare. Excuse me? My client is concerned about the child being raised in... She glanced around the parking lot with barely concealed disdain. Unstable circumstances. A single mother, financial limitations, now media attention that you seem unprepared to handle. Are you threatening me? I'm suggesting mediation. My client is prepared to offer significant financial support in exchange for structured custody arrangements. Your client has no relation to my son, but Mr. Hale does, and given his resources versus yours, and I left her standing there, drove home, shaking. The house felt too small, too exposed. Every car that passed could be a reporter. Every knock could be more lawyers. My phone, turned back on, showed 17 missed calls. 3 from Grayson. Where are you? Sophia Chen doesn't represent me. Call me back. Elena, please. I had no idea Isabel would do this. I'm driving up. We need to talk. He was on my porch when I got home from collecting Leo, pacing like a caged animal. I fired my entire legal team, he said without preamble. Anyone who had contact with Isabel is gone. This isn't what I want. She's trying to take my son. Our son? And no one's taking him anywhere. He looked wrecked. Elena, I'm so sorry. I thought she'd just fade away, but her family, they're vindictive when crossed. I can't afford a custody battle. You won't need to. I'll handle it. I don't want your money. It's not about money. It's about protecting Leo. He paused. And you? Leo had been quiet through this exchange, but now he tugged my hand. Mommy, why are you sad? I'm not sad, baby. You are. So is Daddy. The word hung in the air. Daddy. He'd decided on his own. Grayson knelt to Leo's level. Hey, buddy. Sometimes grown-ups have complicated problems. But you don't need to worry, okay? Is someone being mean to Mommy? A little bit, but I'm going to fix it. Promise? Promise. That night, after Leo was asleep, we sat at my kitchen table like war generals planning strategy. Grayson had brought Chinese takeout and his laptop, showing me the statement his new PR team had crafted. It establishes that we're co-parenting amicably, makes it clear any interference isn't welcome. Will it work? The media will get bored eventually. Isabel will move on when she realizes she can't win. He pushed lo mein around his plate. Elena, there's something else. My mom called. I stiffened. The one who hid my letter? Yeah, she wants to meet Leo. Absolutely not. I'm not asking you to forgive her, but she's sick. Cancer. Stage 3. The fight drained out of me. I'm sorry. She says she has something for you. An explanation, maybe. I don't know. After 5 years, what could she possibly say? That she was wrong. That she thought she was protecting me. That she's haunted by what she did. He met my eyes. Sound familiar? That's not fair, isn't it? We've all made choices we thought were right at the time. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Another unknown number, but the text made my blood run cold. Check your email. SC. The attachment was a formal custody petition. Isabel wasn't backing down. She was escalating. And at the bottom, in cold legalese, the accusation that would destroy me. Mother's mental health history indicates potential risk to child's welfare. They'd found out about the postpartum depression, the therapy. The one night I'd called a crisis line when Leo wouldn't stop crying and I couldn't stop shaking. Elena, what is it? I showed him. Watched his face go from confusion to fury. She's using my breakdown against me. No? He was already dialing. She's using nothing. This ends now. But I barely heard him. All I could think was, they're going to take my baby. The one thing I'd done right. And they were going to take him. Just like everyone always took everything, eventually. By Friday, I was unraveling. Reporters had found my work address. 3 clients canceled, citing drama they didn't need. Leo's teacher called, concerned about photographers outside the school. My carefully built life was crumbling, and all I could do was watch. Pack a bag, Grayson said when he arrived that afternoon. Both of you, you're coming to Seattle for the weekend. We can't run and... We're not running. We're regrouping. My security team can protect you better there. This is my home, and you'll come back to it. But right now, Leo needs to be safe from cameras. He softened. Please, Elena, let me help. Leo was excited about the adventure, chattering about the Space Needle and ferry boats. I packed mechanically, throwing in his favorite toys and my laptop. Running felt like losing, but what choice did I have? The house Grayson had mentioned sat on Queen Anne Hill. All glass and wood and impossible views. It was beautiful. Empty. Exactly what he'd promised to build me 6 years ago. The studio's upstairs, he said quietly, north-facing light. I couldn't look at it. Couldn't process this museum to what we'd lost. Leo, want to see your room? My room? I prepared one, just in case. He looked almost shy. It has dinosaurs. While they explored, I stood in the kitchen I'd once dreamed of, fighting tears. This was supposed to be our life, our home. Instead, it was just another reminder of everything that went wrong. My phone rang. Aunt Mary, my sanctuary in Hollow Lake. Honey, there are news vans outside my house. They're saying terrible things. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. No, baby. None of this is your fault, but maybe it's time to stop running. What? You've been running since he left. Different towns, different jobs, always afraid. Maybe it's time to stand still and fight. After she hung up, I found Grayson and Leo in the dinosaur room, building with blocks. My son's laughter echoed off walls that should have heard his first words, his first steps. Can I talk to you? I asked Grayson. In the hallway, I broke. Really broke. 6 years of holding it together, being strong, pretending I didn't need anyone. Gone. I can't do this, I sobbed. They're going to take him. I'm going to lose everything because I wasn't good enough. Stop. His arms came around me, and I should have pulled away but couldn't. You are the strongest person I know. You raised our son alone. You built a business, a life, a home. You are more than enough. Then why does everyone leave? I'm not leaving. He pulled back, cupped my face. Elena, I'm not leaving. Not ever again. You don't get to promise that. Watch me. His thumbs wiped my tears. Tomorrow, we file our own papers. Joint custody, child support backdated 5 years, and a restraining order against Isabel. Monday, I hold a press conference making it clear that anyone who harasses my family will face complete legal destruction. Your family? Isn't that what we are? Broken and complicated and fighting, but family? Leo appeared in the doorway, clutching his stuffed elephant. Mommy, are you hurt? No, baby, just sad. He marched over, wrapped his arms around my legs. Daddy, fix it. I'm trying, buddy. Try harder. Out of the mouths of babes. That night, after pizza and Disney movies, Leo fell asleep between us on the massive couch. I should have carried him to bed, maintained boundaries. Instead, I stayed, watching him breathe while Seattle sparkled below. I never stopped loving you, Grayson said into the darkness. Even when I convinced myself I had. Even when I was with her. It was always you. Love wasn't our problem. No, fear was. I was terrified of failing, of not being enough, of disappointing you. So I left first. And now? Now I'm terrified of losing you again. Both of you. He shifted carefully, not wanting to wake Leo. But I'm more afraid of not trying. The city lights blurred through my tears. Tomorrow would bring lawyers and battles and hard choices. But tonight, my son slept safe between his parents, and maybe that was enough. Maybe we could build something new on the ashes of what we'd burned. The custody hearing was set for December, giving us 2 months to prepare. 2 months of Grayson driving between Seattle and Hollow Lake, of Leo slowly opening up to his father, of me learning to let go of control. Isabel's case fell apart quickly. Turned out, threatening a child's mother didn't play well in court or public opinion. Her family quietly withdrew support, and she moved to California to heal from the betrayal. Grayson's mother, despite her illness, provided a sworn statement about hiding my letter, a truth that shifted everything. She wants to see you, Grayson told me one October evening. We were at the lake, watching Leo splash in the shallows with Benny. I know. Will you? Maybe, after the hearing. I paused. She cost us 5 years. We cost us 5 years. All of us, making choices from fear instead of love. Leo ran up, soaking wet despite the cool weather. Daddy, I caught a fish. Well, almost. It swam away. Next time, buddy, we'll get proper poles. Can we live together next time? It would be easier. Children and their simple truths. Leo, I started. I know. Grown-up stuff is complicated. He sighed dramatically. But it's almost my birthday, just saying. He ran back to the water, leaving us with his 6-year-old wisdom. He's not wrong, Grayson said carefully. Don't. I have to be in Seattle for the company. You have your business here, but maybe there's a middle ground. Like what? Like me working remotely more. Like you taking on some Seattle clients. Like us actually trying instead of assuming it won't work. I watched our son play, his laughter carrying across the water. I'm scared. Me too. Terrified, actually. But Elena, I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you. The hearing came and went. Joint custody granted. No contest. Isabel didn't even show. Leo charmed the judge by explaining his rock collection in detail. And suddenly, we were an official family. Broken, healing, but legal. Christmas Eve found us in Seattle, in the house that shouldn't have been empty. But it wasn't empty anymore. Leo's artwork covered the pristine walls. My design sketches littered the studio. Grayson's office had a toy corner. Mommy, look! Leo dragged us to the window. Snow was falling, rare for Seattle, transforming the city into a snow globe. Make a wish, baby. I already got my wish. Daddy's here. Grayson's hand found mine. Elena, I know, you love me. You never stopped. You want to try again. I squeezed his fingers. I'm not ready for promises, but maybe I'm ready to stop running. That's enough. More than enough. We stood there, watching our son marvel at the snow, and I felt something I hadn't in years. Not the desperate love of youth or the bitter loneliness of abandonment. Something quieter, steadier. Hope. You were wrong, you know, I said. That night you left, you said I didn't fit your world. Biggest mistake of my life. No, you were right. I didn't fit that world. The one where success means leaving people behind. But maybe we can build a different world, one that fits all of us. He turned me to face him. Is that a yes? It's a maybe, a probably, a let's take it slow and figure it out. I'll take it. Leo smushed between us, demanding a group hug. We obliged, standing in the house built on old dreams, filling it with new ones. Later, as snow continued to fall, I thought about shores and waves. I'd been wrong too. Grayson wasn't the wave that crashed and retreated. He wasn't the shore either, solid and waiting. We were both the water and the land, shaping each other with every tide, sometimes gently, sometimes with force, but always returning, always finding our way back. Mommy? Leo's sleepy voice drifted from his dinosaur bed. Are we home? I looked at Grayson, at our son, at the life we were carefully rebuilding. Yeah, baby, we're home. And for the first time in 6 years, I meant it.